Hello, good evening. Namaste, Jai Shri Ram. I hope everybody is doing great this evening. This is your host, Megha Raja, with Bharat TV, Bharat FM. You all know us through a lot of media, social media channels. This interview will be live on Bharat FM, on Bharat TV, on YouTube, on our Facebook. And I'm still quickly going to say Bharat TV and Bharat FM is available to you all across US and all across India, and it is a global platform. We are very, very excited to invite an esteemed guest today. Her name is Deepa Karthik ji. She is a volunteer with VHPA. She's also volunteering at many other organizations. She's a very proud mother. Along with that, she's a board member at the school, but she's also extremely active. She says volunteering, but I'll give you a quick secret. She's a director for a project that we're going to talk about. I know she told me not to talk about it, but I'm still going to say it. I want you all to know she's a director from this project. So let's get quick insights from her of what this project entails. Hi, Deepaji. How are you this evening?
Namaste, Megha. It's wonderful to be here. I'm so glad that we finally got to meet each other. And I'm very grateful to Bharat TV to give me this platform to speak about this very important project. So before we begin, first of all, Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. I wanted to also have to provide a disclaimer because I'm an elected board member on my town school board. So the views that I present here are my own views and not the views of the South Brunswick School District that I'm a part of. So that being said, Megha, I think, I'm so excited that you have invited me here. I really wanted to speak a lot about Hindu vote and get the word out to our communities who can use this wonderful first-in-class tool. And I'm really, really excited to sort of present all of the wonderful sort of the website that we have created for the use of our community. I'm just grateful to Bharat TV and all your viewers also for giving me a listening ear.
We are very happy to have you here. Let's quickly dive into what we're talking about. So, all our viewers and listeners are also with us. So, you have a lot of logos on your screen. I see Hindu Vote, I see Hindu Pact, I see VHPA at the bottom. Let's start with the bottom one. What is VHPA and what does that organization do?
Sure. So VHPA is one of the oldest Hindu advocacy groups called Vishwa Hindu Parisha. You may have heard in Bharat. This is VHPA USA, also known here as World Hindu Council. We have a number of projects, and Hindu Pact is one of the projects of VHPA. And Hindu Vote is a project of Hindu Pact. So we are doing a lot of work in Hindu Pact. Hindu Pact stands for Hindu Policy Research and Advocacy Collective. And we are, we are engaged in a lot of sort of projects that work around policies that serve our Sanatani community, our Dharmic community. And we are also bringing to the forefront issues that affect our community as well.
Okay. So Vishwa Hindu Parishad. I think बहुत लोगों को पता होगा. It must be
Oh,
common.
yes. A lot. If people have followed, the work of Vishwa Hindu Parisha, they would have also known that we did a big Ram Rath Yatra recently around United States. It went Ram Lalla's Murti went to a number of mandirs, and people were very excited. So, that was one of the work. That one of the projects that Vishwa Hindu Parishad has taken up USA. Also, we have something called Hindu Mandir Executive Conference, which is HMEC. We have Hindu Dvesha. There are a lot of projects that are working, that are within VHPA that are geared towards understanding the issues that affect our Hindu community and how to resolve them. How are we sort of engaging with our legislation? How are we engaging with our communities to sort of solve them?
That's amazing. I'm also very proud to say Bharat FM and Bharat TV was the only channel जिन्होंने पूरा राम यात्रा all across US cover किया था और हमारे चैनल पे एक्चुअली आप जाके सारे मंदिर के विजिट्स भी देख सकते हो. I do want the viewers to know that. Thank you for bringing it up as one of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad projects, Deepa ji.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I know of the support that FM has offered and Bharat TV has offered to the Ram Rath Yatra. So it's a very proud moment for us, for all of us, for all our Sanatani community, all our Hindu community, our Hindu brothers and sisters, were extremely thrilled to to see the Ram Rath here in United States, so close to home. I know a lot of us have not been able to go to Ayodhya to visit the temple, but at least the replica of the temple has come to us. Ram Lalla has come to us to say, for us to visit him. So I'm very grateful to Bharat FM for covering that Rath Yatra.
Yeah, thank you. Um, let's talk quickly about Hindu Pact and Hindu vote. What is Hindu Pact and Hindu vote? And why is it called Hindu vote? What does Hindus have to do with that?
Yes, sure. So I'll talk a little bit about Hindu Pact. As I told you, that Hindu Pact is a policy and advocacy collective. So it is a policy research and advocacy. So we do both. We research on our on issues affecting us and how what policies can be formulated for that. How can we advocate for ourselves? And as you know, advocacy collective means how can we bring all our our Hindu community together to advocate for our rights, for our well-being, etc. So that is Hindu Pact. It's really the advocacy arm of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, World Hindu Council here in United States. And Hindu vote is really it's a tool. Let's describe it that way. It's really a tool which is enabled electronically, enabled through a website, which is it's on three levels, right? A tool for our dharmic community to use information to be well informed about issues, political issues, social issues, civic issues affecting Hindus. How can they learn about these issues? How can they engage with their elected officials, the candidates, prospective candidates, etc. And ultimately, how can they vote with a dharmic lens, which means understanding. First of all, if you need to know who to vote for, you need to know what are the issues affecting us, and then you also need to know who are those people who are helping us solve those issues, right? So this whole tool is really geared towards understanding how can we engage as an individual voter, how can we engage at an institutional level, how can we engage and understand our candidates, our elected officials, and lastly, how can we come together as a community to be more politically aware, more enlightened, and more create a more sort of informed democracy. So that's really the purpose of Hindu vote.
It's very unique as a name. हमने voting करने जाना है सुना है, elections सुने होते हैं, लेकिन Hindu vote, this name itself, who came up with this? It's very attractive and unique.
Yeah, what has happened in the past is, Megha, that that we see that in our community we often hear this, oh, we don't want to be politically engaged, we don't want to be politics. We come from a generation that was like, padhai karo, job karo, politics mein involved mat ho. But the reality of life is that everything that we are dealing with on a day-to-day basis, right from the groceries we purchase to the countries we visit for a vacation, to the taxes we pay, to the towns we live in, everything is touched and affected by politics, because your grocery prices are defined by the inflation that takes place in the economy, which is directly tied to the policies of the government, which is in turn tied to the politics of the government, right? Suppose, for example, you're traveling on a particular visa. I, as a citizen, may get a visa of a particular country instantaneously. Some people have to wait for weeks to get a visa, right? So all of these things are again are a result of politics. So
I I
what I was
think
saying
you
sorry?
just hit a nerve there, or for a lot of Hindu people in the US.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to drive the point is that saying that I want to stay away from politics is really a fallacy. The reason is that from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, politics is in your life, whether you like it or not. So let us accept that fact and let us be involved. Because they say democracy serves those who serve democracy. So it's basically, if you are involved in democracy, only then democracy will serve you. You know.
Right. So, okay, now that we've understood of how important is it for all the Hindus to be a part of it and contribute towards politics and be involved and have a say in it, how can they? What's the procedure? How is it that they can contribute towards Hindu Pact and Hindu vote?
Yeah. So that's a very important question that you asked me. And in a minute, I am going to sort of show you the tool itself, or Hindu vote, the tool that we've developed. But firstly, I just want to say, to come back to your question, how can we be involved? So there are two ways to be involved. As I said, you can be involved at an individual level. If you are part of an organization, you can be involved at an organization level. And when I say organization, many of us are contributing our time with, let's say, I'm just going to take the name of an organization. Let's say you're involved with, an advocacy group, right? Like that takes care, or you're involved in a Garba group. Let's say,
Mhm.
most of our Hindu community are involved in some sort of cultural activity. Those they create those sort of small organizations which are 501c3 kind of
Mhm.
non-profits,
Mhm.
right? But they're
Mhm.
all geared towards like a Bharatiya culture, either
Right.
Garba, yeah, Bharatnatyam, yeah, music. You may have heard of this very famous Tyagaraja festival that happens in Cleveland
Yes.
every year. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of Hindus congregate to sort of celebrate Tyagaraja. Was a great, great poet, a great saint of southern India. And I know that a lot of people come there. So how can, like, for example, such an organization, how can it get involved, right? So what we have done is, we know that we have all over the United States, we have approximately. So I spoke about two things: individual level and institutional level.
Mhm.
I'll show you how we can get involved, right? Firstly, our involvement must be to make ourselves aware of the politics around us. So an individual can get involved by looking at your local politics, look at who's in your town council, your county, so on and so forth. But the reality of life, Mega, is that like I'm a mom, I'm a working mom, I have a day job. I'm so busy, I don't even know. Let's assume I don't know who my local representatives are. So what we have done is, we have created a tool, a website, where I can go, and I'll show it to you in a minute. I can just put my zip code, and your representatives from your particular district, the Senate and the Congress, will come up,
Mhm.
and you can just click that particular, and you can just go to that particular website and get information on that particular candidate. And what we have done is, we have gleaned this information in such a way that will help you get the facts at the click of a button and make an informed decision on voting. So, in a minute, I'll just present my screen so that you can, so it'll become more meaningful for your viewers, right? And they will be able to sort of see what exactly I'm talking about. Okay. So, let me know if you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Okay. It says sharing. Are you able to see my screen?
No.
Okay, let me try again. Okay. Okay, now let me know if you can see my screen.
Mm-mm.
Are you able to see this website?
No, no.
Oh, why am I not able to share? It says I am sharing. It says entire screen. I say share.
Now.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so as you can see, this is the Hindu Vote website. Okay, you can put hindupact.org, or you can do www.hinduvote.org. You will come here. Okay. Now you see this. This is the first tab, which is the 2024 elections. I'll come to the American Hindu agenda first, and then I will go to this one. Okay.
Mhm.
The reason I'm bringing this agenda up is for many times what happens. And let me know if you can see this agenda.
Yes.
This is the American Hindu agenda of 2024. Okay. Many times what happens is that we as Hindus are voting, but we don't know exactly what we should be demanding from our elected officials. What is it that we want to get from them, right?
Right.
If we are going to be voting as a community, we want to know, okay, what are the issues that are afflicting us? What is it that we want from them? So the first thing that we want is we want them to support legislation that bars Hindu phobia.
Mhm.
Okay. In the recent past, in Texas and in many other parts of the country, Hindus have been subjected to physical attacks, slurs, right? We want, we in academia, that there is a lot of Hindu phobia. There have been Hindu phobic, professors who've said, really bad things that make it very uncomfortable for our students to be on campus, right? So we want our legislators to bring about legislation that will bar Hindu phobia. As you know, in Sacramento recently, and in many places, there have been, our Hindu temples have been vandalized, right?
Mhm.
Been desecrated. And we want that, the FBI strongly investigates this. We want that Hindu temples are secure as places of worship, and that legislation is strongly brought at the federal level to protect our places of worship. Then the third point, it's not in any order of priority, Megha, but just some of the points that concern our community. Legal immigration. A lot of our Sanatani brothers and sisters are literally languishing, waiting for, either H1B visas or green cards. बहुत साल लग जाते हैं by the time they actually get naturalized. They have a desire to be here long term, but the legislation is not supportive of them staying here long term, and they're
Yeah.
constantly in this flux, the situation of uncertainty. So we want our legislators to support such legislation that endorses fast tracking of legitimate visa applications, H1B visas, expediting the green card application, so on and so forth. Okay.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is it is are these agendas, you stated that we can demand that out of our elected officials, right? How do you demand that? I mean, who are we to have that power?
More than demanding it, Megha, what I was trying to say is that we need to ensure that when we are speaking to our legislators, like let's assume I go to a fundraiser for a politician, right? Where I'm going to be cutting out a check and supporting my local politician or my senator or my congressman. I should know what to tell them. I
Makes
should
sense.
know, right? I should know these are
Yeah,
the issues affecting my community. You have to support my community. You see, all other communities around United States, that's how they do it, right?
I
You go
see.
to other communities. You see, learn from the Abrahamic communities how they advocate for themselves. They support their local politicians. They support the PACs by putting forth a clear agenda and saying, this is our agenda. These are the various ways you can help us do something out of this, right? Either
And
do
do
all of it or do some of it. Right? Sorry, what was that?
and do you see it as a concern if I, being a Hindu, I'm specifically talking about my culture or my caste and demanding things specifically for my religion? Do you think I'm trying to discriminate or violate anything in the US by doing that?
So, see, everybody's allowed to advocate for themselves, right?
Right.
Uh, there's no law that prevents us from advocating for ourselves. I'm not telling anybody that don't do this for somebody else. I am asking something for myself, and I'm absolutely allowed to advocate for myself. I'm not going in with the with a point of view saying that you shouldn't do this for somebody else. I am saying that what we're saying is, please be fair to us. These are our demands. We want security, we want safety, we want you to have legislation that allows us to live safely and securely in our communities. We want fairness in education and employment. We want to make sure we have merit based education systems, merit based employment systems. We are asking that you support Hindu human rights in other countries where Hindus are being persecuted, right? So we what we are doing is we are demanding for our rights. So there's nothing wrong in that. Absolutely, you're absolutely allowed to, and you must. Not only are you allowed to, you must advocate for yourself, because if you won't advocate for yourself, who will?
Yeah, very
Uh,
true.
yeah. So the next one is, I spoke about human rights. So you know that there are a lot of religious theocracies,
Mhm.
okay, in our world, where religious minorities don't have rights. They can't move around freely. Their rights are being taken away. Mostly, I want to speak specifically about the Hindus in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Many of these countries abuse, the religious minorities, and US is providing aid. Now, how does US provide aid to this country? From your and my tax money, right? We
Right.
pay taxes. So would I want my tax money to go to a country that is abusing my Hindu community in those countries?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. So I'm putting forth a demand that, that you look into this. Who are you funding? On what basis is this funding happening? How are these religious theocracies? Because America, the greatest country in the world, advocates for human rights so much. So what about the human rights of the Hindus? Right? We have human rights too. So we are requesting these religious theocracies to take a closer look at, we are requesting United States to look at these religious theocracies and how they are treating their religious minorities. Then, the historic artifacts. A lot of our murtis, Megha, are have during during colonization, what has happened? A lot of murtis were, they were either stolen, they were smuggled, or they were simply taken from Bharat, and they are now in some museum in United States or some other countries, etc., and they are just part of maybe some private collection. So we are requesting for historic artifacts, our murtis are, that belong rightfully in Bharat, to be returned back to Bharat. Okay. And to bring about legislation for that, right? France has done that. They have returned some stuff. Australia has done it. So we are requesting that even United States brings about such legislation. Foreign policy, you'll be very interested to know that, see, we know that our dharmic matrubhumi, the from where we come, is Bharat, right? The
Right.
homeland or the motherland of Hindus is Bharat. And the we cannot take away Sanatan dharma from Bharat, and Bharat cannot be separate from Sanatan dharma.
Right.
So because of that reason, we want, I always say, like, one is a motherland and the other one is a homeland, right? So we want relations between our motherland and our homeland to always be cordial. We love both lands. We want good relations between both the countries, and we are also requesting that that the United States appoint a solid representative, a Hindu representative in the USCIRF. You know that USCIRF always puts out some reports that are biased, either false, misrepresenting facts in India, and this particular agency does not have any Hindu voice. They have other religious voices, but they don't have uh, uh, they don't have a Hindu voice. So we are requesting that you appoint a good Hindu representative. And lastly, that Bharat is really the homeland um, of sustainable living, right? And we've always wanted, we always advocate for sustainable living. For example, I can just give one small example. When my mother comes, from India, she'll always like make sure that she washes all these dabbas and she takes it back and she says, you also reuse it. Like, so, small things. We are so used to reuse, recycle, continue. We don't believe in indiscriminate use. We believe that, this dharti is to be sort of protected, and we believe that we are a part of it. Like, not that we are superior to it, but we are a part of it. So we want to take care of it. And even small things like, the coconut, in my village, we used to make brooms out of the leaves of coconuts. So coconut trees. So we have sustainable living has always been integral to our dharmic community, and we want legislators to sort of promote environmentally friendly policies as well. So that's something that was important. One thing that I wanted to communicate to your viewers, Megha, is that this American Hindu agenda for 2024 was created not by Hindu Pact alone or Hindu Vote alone, but it was really a coming together of many advocacy groups within United States, and we had multiple workshops, and that's how we have crystallized this American Hindu agenda. It really belongs to all of us.
And I do want you to know, I think your team has done an incredible job. All the advocacies has done a great job because, just like you said, meeting somebody from the legislative and knowing what exactly to talk is a very big education that probably our people can definitely use. But Deepaji, when you were talking, it was amazing to see you talk with so much conviction and passion. It reminds me of the slogan, Shakti ka naam Nari hai. I think Nari Shakti is now so jagrut and so aware in what they want and demand what they deserve. It's incredible and beautiful to see. And I think that Bharat has guarded their jhanda in knowing how they want to demand what they want. So I think Hindutva, Sanatan Dharma, and Nari Shakti is incredibly growing, say it in Bharat or even in US. So I genuinely think that this Hindu pact or Hindu vote is going to help a lot of my viewers, my listeners, and also us as youth to learn what we lack in the US. So it's an amazing project. I definitely want to join in helping in any way I can. 501c organizations are available in Houston, all across the Houston. So yes, I am going to reach out to you and see how I can help in the outreach. And my viewers, you all are welcome to reach out to me. I will connect you to Deepaji. She will definitely want to encourage any outreach support that you want to do in supporting Hindu Pact or Hindu Vote. That is the whole reason we are talking about it on Bharat TV and Bharat FM, जिससे आपको मालूम पड़े कि your word has a value and a lot of significance. Make sure you do go to vote and know who to vote for, and also make sure to demand and ask for what you deserve.
Yeah, I'll just take 1 minute, Megha, to show you the website. So I wanted to, check with you if you would be comfortable,
Sure.
with. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So here we are on the first tab. I wanted to quickly show you. If you can share your zip code with me. So we'll just try with your zip code, right?
Okay, yeah, sure. 77077.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So I see that. So what happens is you. Okay, now I'll dial back to that story, right? I'm a busy mom. I don't have time. I don't even know who's in my district. I have no idea. So I just go here, put in my, either I can put in my zip code or I can put in my whole address here. But I just used your zip code. Okay. When I use your zip code, I get two sets of sort of representatives. One is the House of Representatives that are in your district, and this is your U.S. senators from your district. Is that right, Ted Cruz?
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at famous Mr. Cruz, right? He's quite famous. Everybody knows who Ted Cruz is, and let's see how we can find out what has he been doing, right? So I just go click here, right? Now, can you see? Can you see my screen? It says
Yeah.
is your description of who Ted Cruz is. Like, okay, he's U.S. Senate. He's from Texas, and he's a Republican. A brief history of what you who he is. Blah blah blah. His little bio is here, right? So you don't have to worry. His Twitter handle is here. His Facebook page is here. You can go and check it out if you want to. But the most important part of this tool comes now. You see this? There's PAC funding details. There are relationships, positions, key votes, and voter surveys. Now, what happens is, that's that phrase, follow the money, right?
Yeah.
So when you follow the money, you get a lot of information about a candidate. So
Right.
this particular, the sort of blurb, if you will, tells us a lot about how much money has Ted Cruz raised in this until today. Okay, so there'll always be a little bit lag about the funding details because of the FEC, that is Federal Election Commission, and their reporting standards. And then these are PACs, that is Political Action Committees. These are entities, for those of your viewers who don't know, political action committees are those committees that are allowed to take a partisan view. Hindu Vote is a 501 C3 organization. So we don't take a partisan view, we take a non-partisan view. So we are presenting all the candidates to you. And we are not favoring one candidate over the other. But a pack will favor, or they will be basically giving money to those candidates who have agreed to support the agenda of that particular pack. Now, what does this tell you? This tells you that so far no Hindu pack has given money to Ted Cruz. Okay, which could be indicative of the fact that Ted Cruz may not be supportive of. I'm using the word may not because that that's it's a possibility. He may not be favorable to Hindu causes. We've also have some non-Hindu packs, which also tells you a story about who is he likely to support. Okay, because of
Hmm.
so you see that there are some non-Hindu packs here as well. Okay, now this is a diagrammatic representation of his relationships. So his name is Ted Cruz, who are his largest donors, who is he an ally of, and so on and so forth. So it's a very unique sort of representation. It's still a work in progress, this particular piece. So it's right now it's not meaningful data here, but it's soon going to come up as we are developing this diagrammatic representation. Okay, so it just gives you like first those that whole concept of 6 degrees of separation. So
Yeah.
how you're connected to various people. It basically tells you what are the connections of this particular person, so you can find out if which particular organization is funding Ted Cruz, whether it is first degree relationship, second degree, third degree, depending. Okay, so this will be very helpful as we go along our journey. Then comes a very important point, right? Candidate questionnaire. What is happening here? We have developed a questionnaire again by talking to these advocacy organizations and built a set of questions. This is an automated process. We have sent questionnaires to more than 400 candidates across United States. It's the same set of questionnaire that has gone to everybody. These are all the questions that were important to the Hindu community. For example, Hindu hate, affirmative action, which we spoke of, immigration policies, human rights, foreign policy, sustainable, sustainability and environment, free speech, gun control, and abortion. So, although some of these issues like gun control, abortion, etc., might sound partisan, it really isn't. These are issues that are important to the Hindu community. For example, there are Hindus who want to know which candidates support sensible gun control, which candidates oppose it, what is their view, who are who oppose abortion, who don't. So all of this, so positions basically. So that's all. See, ultimately, a voter is free to take his or her decision, but the important thing is you have the information basis which you will make a decision. So that is the most important thing. And the last thing is we are building a 360-degree. So yeah, I'll come to keywords next. So keywords is a place where, which is one of my favorite aspects of this particular website. These are the important legislations that have come to Congress and have been tabled. So the first one is the Hindu phobia one, which was introduced by Shri. I'll just give you one example. I can't go through all of them. So you see this. This was introduced in the House. Shri Thanedar had introduced it. You don't have to go and worry about, oh my God, I have to look up कौन सा legislation है, कहाँ जाके देखूँ, क्या करूँ, you won't even know. I wouldn't know. I won't have the time also, to be very honest. So I'll just come to this website. I'll see, okay, there were three resolutions which were bought for for a vote on the House floor, and we want to know how people have voted. So now you see, this is celebrating Hindu Americans, condemning attacks on Hindu places of worship, Hindu phobia, anti-Hindu bigotry, and other purposes is the name of this particular resolution. Okay. Now you see there are 19 co-sponsors here. So I don't even have to I don't have to go anywhere. I have to just come here and see. These are the 19 people who have co-sponsored this particular bill. So so that means now you know that these people support this legislation, right?
Mhm.
So now you know that okay, if you are from a place where Raja Krishnamurti, like he's from Illinois, if you are a constituent of Raja Krishnamurti, you know that he did a good job. He actually supported this. He co-sponsored it. Okay, so this is really the purpose of the keyword section. So we have gleaned the most important resolutions that are important to the Hindu community. And the lastly, we are bringing a 360-degree engagement with our candidate, which means candidate ने तो हमको जवाब दे दिया, right, through the candidate survey. They responded to us. Now we get a chance to respond back and survey this candidate. Now even if I am the candidate, I will be interested to know how are my constituents viewing me, right? I want to know, do they like me, do they dislike me, what's happening, and I can come here and figure that out. So as more and more Hindu voters come to Ted Cruz's page and start rating him, we will get a favorability meter here. You know, whether he's favorable, neutral, or very favorable, or slightly favorable, whatever that is. So that will come here as we start collecting more and more responses. So one of the purposes of sharing all of this with you, Megha, is to ensure that we build engagement through through your platform. We want users to come to this website to check it out. As you see, there are no advertisements, nothing. We have put in our time, resources, etc., and build this for our community, so you can use it and make it more meaningful. Okay. Do you have I hope this sort of makes sense, and I hope it sort of sparks an interest in what we're trying to do here.
No, it absolutely does. And I think the team's incredible job on the research that they've put in to give us so much information in where the bills are, who supports it, who doesn't. I think it's an amazing work, Deepaji. I really want you to know that at a director level for this project, you and your team have done incredibly amazing. Thank you for putting it together. I'm sure the entire Hindu community is very proud of this initiative because there is somebody out there who cares. And just
Yeah,
knowing that you do
absolutely.
care
Yeah.
is very important. So thank you again. I will tell my viewers, if you want to join, आपको अगर जुड़ना है हिंदू पैक्ट से, हिंदू वोट के साथ support करना है, 501c organizations can definitely support. Even as an individual contributor, you can support. Please reach out to Bharat TV, Bharat FM, or respond to this video on Facebook, on YouTube. You can engage with us through Bharat Media, and we will make sure you are connected with Hindu Pact or Hindu Vote and contributing. Once again, Deepaji, thank you for your time. Thank you for all your contribution. Thank you for being this amazing mom, amazing contributor, and along with that, a great Bharatiya. I'm sure Bharat Mata is very proud of you for
Thank you.
everything you have done.
Thank you very much. I just in closing, I want to give my thanks to you, Megha, and to Mananji from Bharat TV for giving us this platform, for being so generous. I know he's such a wonderful supporter of all of the work that we do for our Hindu causes. So, my deep gratitude to your entire team. I also want to tell your viewers that Hindu Vote is, it's a very, very long term project. It's a so we are looking to keep to enrich our website, to make it more meaningful. Ultimately, as long as Hindus vote in United States, Hindu vote will be alive. So, it is a very long term project. We want more and more people to join this movement of an enlightened democracy. We want our next generation. I want the Hindu Yuva, the young, the young Hindus who are looking at this. My daughter is going to vote for the first time in this election. So I'm so excited and proud. I'm really looking forward to our youth getting involved in Hindu vote, being more civic, engaged in civic activities. And I know that our community, our Hindu community, will get only stronger with this. I'm grateful for all the support that we've received. And I also have one call to action. Please support Hindu Vote, the project Hindu Vote. You can go online and support it. Please, we have a lot of costs to create these tools. They are very expensive. The databases are very, very expensive for us. We've done everything that we can. We're devoting a lot of time. We've put in a lot of resources also. So any support that the Hindu community can give us, we are more than grateful for it. So thank you so much, Megha.
Thank you again. Thank you for your time this evening. Jai Shri Ram, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Bharat FM and Bharat TV is very grateful for your time, and we hope you enjoyed and like and appreciate this information that we are bringing to you. Make sure to watch it before the end of this month and early November. The votes are coming up soon in the US. Be informed, be smart, and make a good decision. Jai Shri Ram, everybody, once again.
Jai Shri Ram.